Hello. Um, there are apostates. There are hypocrites. There are Pharisees in Christianity that are ruining Christ's good name and are trampling upon the precious blood of Christ. They do not share the values of Christ. They are not humble. They don't love justice or mercy. And I'm going to quote scripture, and then I'm going to actually have their own words, condemn them. But first, 2 Timothy 3. But mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power, have nothing to do with these people. And Matthew 24:10, at that time many will turn away from the faith and will betray and hate each other. And many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold. But the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. I am so glad that 3 years ago God opened my heart and showed me what Christianity truly is, a life-changing religion, a faith that transforms. So, I'm going to play some of the quotes. I got this from People for an American's Way, Right-Wing Watch, which is a pro-abortion, atheistic site that is pushing a pro-abortion atheist agenda, which these guys are helping. I mean, with Christians like these, who needs atheists, right? So anyway, I am going to play some of their quotes. And this is all coming from the ironically named Value Voters Summit. Okay. The first is Bryan Fischer, who I consider political spiritual enemy number one. Sorry, I'm having a little problem playing.
Deputy Rector at Al-Azhar University 1 week ago, I say to all my brothers and sisters, jihad has become an individual duty incumbent upon each and every one of us. And he referred to critics of Islam as, quote, the offspring of pigs and apes. I believe it's important that we have a president who understands that Islam is not a religion of peace, but a religion of war and violence and death. Now, there was a study that was published this summer that revealed that 81% of all of the mosques in the United States distribute literature that promotes violent jihad.
Sounds really bad, doesn't it? The group Center for Religious Freedom did this study. And they even said they only went to 15 mosques. So, 80% of 15 mosques, you still don't get a really good feel. And that rector of that Islamic school is a spiritual brother to Bryan Fischer. I mean, Bryan Fischer saying all Muslims are stupid due to inbreeding. That's very similar to calling your enemies offspring of pigs and dogs, just not as poetic. Next. This is Fischer as well.
I believe this means we need a president who will work to get the federal government out of the welfare business altogether as soon as humanly possible. James Madison, who was the father of the Constitution, said that I cannot undertake to lay my finger on that article of the Constitution which granted to Congress of expending the money of their constituents on objects of benevolence. So I believe we need a president who understands that the command of Jesus to care for the poor was not addressed to government, it was addressed to us.
Now, these people want to go back to before the New Deal, when 50% of senior citizens were in abject poverty. I believe churches should be primarily in charge of charity, but I believe that the government has to be secondary. And, do not hate your enemies. Do not hate your enemies. Pray for those who hate you. Love those that persecute you. But if government is not supposed to do this, then why did he say in Isaiah 1:23, your rulers are rebels, partners with thieves, they all love bribes and chase after gifts, and they do not defend the cause of the fatherless, the widow case does not come before them. Or Romans 13, that they love to use to justify the death penalty, but they don't use it to justify the government doing good things. Romans 13:6, this is why you pay taxes. For the authorities of God's servant who give their full time to governing. Give to everyone that you owe them. If you owe taxes, pay taxes. If revenue, then revenue. If respect, then respect. If honor, then honor. I mean, these people are fornicating with the economic elite. I mean, I hate to say this, but they're very similar to the whore of Babylon. We don't have any kings, but we do have titans of industry. Okay, next is spiritual enemy number 2. A guy who is a self-appointed prophet. I think we all know him. His name is Glenn Beck.
Hate is on a scale and is growing on a planetary scale.
I agree with that.
Unprecedented size. The violent left is coming to our streets. All of our streets, to smash, to tear down, to kill, to bankrupt, to destroy. It will be global in its nature and global in its scope. I said these things 2 years ago, and I was mocked and ridiculed.
You were mocked and ridiculed because you're a hypocrite. You're mocked and ridiculed because you go about the progressives, say Teddy Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson were socialists. You slander a wholly righteous man by the name of Jim Wallace. And you talk about the violent, left? Well, you're part of the violent right. I mean, you are, if there was hypocrite in the dictionary, there would be your face. I mean, look at this. I'm thinking about killing Michael Moore, and I'm wondering if I could kill him myself, or if I would need to hire someone to do it. No, I think I could. I think he could be looking me in the eye, and I could just be choking the life out. Is this wrong? Yes! It is wrong. You treat your enemies with respect, and you treat your enemies with love and truth. And you have neither. You have no mercy. The only Katrina victims we're seeing on television are the scumbags. We all have our inner demons. I, for one, I can't speak for you, but I'm on the verge of moral collapse at any time. It can happen by the end of the show. Glenn Beck, it has happened a while ago. Okay, next. I almost didn't want to do this because listening to them makes me sick to my stomach. I mean, I'm hungry and I'm thirsty for righteousness, and our political leaders on the right are kowtowing to the false prophets. It's like the ancient Israelites who served Moloch. The ancient Israelites who served Baal and were prophets of Baal. We need more Elijahs. We need more Elijahs. We need more people speaking out and fighting the false prophets, but not using hatred like their weapons. No, using truth and love, spreading the word that these people do not represent us. These people have gone into apostasy. These people are lost souls. I don't believe they're lost forever. I believe that you can reach out to them and they will turn to Jesus and be saved. I think this is going to be a two-parter. I will continue in Value Voters Hypocrisy number 2.